National team coach. There is more than one goal. Obviously, I'm here to watch games. I see a lot of the players from our pool who were at the qualifying, but also obviously to see some new players, younger players. There's all the age groups here, so that's very interesting for me. There's a lot of players, a lot of games, but it's very, very interesting to see them play in their teams, and as well to meet some of the players we already know and talk to them.
I try to be a leader and a role model with my other two teammates, Mauricio and Kobe. Just, setting the example on and off the field, and talking to them, motivating them, and just being the example.
There's a lot of tough teams out here, just like international teams. Physically, everyone has to always keep a strong mentality also, and we just need to get on it and just win our games and do everything possible to win.
On and off the field, you always have to be a leader, encouraging these guys to do better each game and to stay focused.
Yeah, it's not often that they're all in one place, so that's obviously very good. Even we don't have all the players from a 17 national team here. That's a different kind of pressure, but it's just good to see so many players, a lot of games, the distances are short, I can see how they play in their clubs, I can see new players, that's the benefit, that's the goal. It's an important showcase, it's an important tournament for the teams, for the players. It's about winning, it's about qualifying for the finals.
Welcome to Oceanside, California for the U.S. Soccer Development Academy U-18-19 boys quarterfinals as Sporting Kansas City is taking on St. Louis FC. I'm your host, Mark Serber, and it's a pleasure to be with you as Sporting Kansas City comes in the number 4 seed, having won Group B, going 2-0-1, scoring 10 goals and conceding just 2 in the process. Well, St. Louis FC won Group A, going 2-1-0 with 6 goals for and 3 goals against. So St. Louis is the side closest to you on the screen. Sporting Kansas City in their traditional jerseys over on your right are being announced at the moment. St. Louis came in finishing 4th in the Mid-America Division with a record of 13-6-5 to grab the first wild card spot for these playoffs and the number 20 seed overall. While Sporting Kansas City finished 2nd in the Frontier Division at a record of 16-4-3 to have the 4th best record in the U.S. Soccer Development Academy. Sporting KC started their playoff run with a 2-2 draw against Sacramento Republic and then defeated both Crew SC and the Montreal Impact by 4-0 scorelines. So 8 goals and 2 clean sheets in their last 2 games for Sporting Kansas City. Well, St. Louis FC started off with a 4-1 win against Real Colorado, followed that up with a 2-0 win against the New England Revolution right here on U.S. Soccer, and then finished with a 2-0 loss against the New York Red Bulls. But 6 points enough to see them through as winners of Group A, as we are set for an all-Missouri derby here. The Sporting Kansas City's academy has produced 9 homegrown players. Last year, Luca Busio, Jalen Lindsay, and Juan Cusain all debuted with the first team. And this year alone here at the U-18-19s, 4 players got their first professional minutes with USL Championship side Swope Park Rangers, as we'll step aside for the playing of our national anthem. We are on the verge of kickoff between Sporting Kansas City and St. Louis FC. And a good look at your referees for this afternoon's quarterfinal. Jamie Willis out of Florida is the center referee in the middle. Will be assisted by Christian Clare out of Washington on the near side. Nancy Camarillo from Cal South on the far side. And in between the benches is the fourth official, Andrew Sharon from the DC Virginia Association. Now, the last match right here on US Soccer went to penalties between Sockers FC and the Seattle Sounders. 120 minutes couldn't separate the two sides as it finished 1-1. And then the Sounders losing to the Sockers 5-4 on penalties. I'm sure both of these teams would love to finish the game and make their way through to the semifinals in 90 minutes. But if they have to go through an extra time or penalties, they will take that, as the winner will advance to championship weekend up in Orange County next July. The semifinals on the 8th and the finals and third place match on the 10th at the Orange County Great Park in the soccer stadium where USL Championship side Orange County SC play their matches. And this is a St. Louis FC side, which has a USL Championship team at the top of their pyramid. Well, this Sporting Kansas City side not only have Swope Park Rangers in the USL Championship, but of course, Sporting KC in the MLS as well. And this is a St. Louis FC side that never stops running, can play a skilled and technical game, but when they need to, can grind down their opponents. Watch out for Jeremiah Collins, who covers every blade of grass that is on the field, and because he has that kind of stamina, he's pretty much given a free rein to go wherever he wants to chase the ball. Scored the game-clinching goal against New England Revolution in stoppage time to cement that 2-0 victory. Sporting Kansas City will come out in a traditional 4-3-3. Will St. Louis FC really crowd the midfield, and two attackers up top, and then four that play in a block in the midfield with a four-man back line. And their net guarded by Patrick Schulte, who already made his debut for St. Louis FC and was hero of the second round of the U.S. Open Cup, as he saved penalties in the shootout to win the game against the Des Moines Menace. So we are underway. Sporting Kansas City in the light blue. St. Louis FC in the dark. As Schulte picks it up and rolls it out wide. Headed away by Rad. The twin brothers are out there. Keva Rad wears number 4 in the center of defense. And his brother Jajon wears number 6 as the holding midfielder. As it's St. Louis who are on the ball. And they get it back to Schulte. Over the head of Lastic. But it goes out of bounds off Gilliard. Lastic gets around Gilliard. He's able to get back and get a foot in. And Vlastich lets it roll out for the throw-in. He'll leave this off for Genenbacher. He's a player that St. Louis is very high on. Genenbacher's up from the U16-17s for these playoffs. And has started every single game. Well, he's in support, but it's Collins who puts it across. And a bit overzealous as that goes out for a goal kick. St. Louis FC in its second year after a merger between St. Louis, Scott Gallagher, Illinois, and Scott Gallagher, Missouri. They already have 3 players who are on academy contracts. They can play in the USL Championship with St. Louis FC. But they are missing one of their key pieces in Lucas Hummel, who was red carded in the 90th minute for his second yellow against the New York Red Bulls. Coming in as his place is Kristen Malinich, who made sub-appearances in every game in the group stage, and now in the place of Hummels gets the start in the quarterfinal. It's the first real attack for Sporting KC. Redmond did enough, and he's still defending on the far side. Sporting will hit the reset button in the 4th minute as it comes all the way back for Rad. And just a bit too far for Gilliard. Danny Collins. Gilliard intercepts. Back for Rad. Inside for his brother. Out wide for Leith. The outside back has 2 goals in the playoffs. There's Jahon Rad. Over to the near side. Duke. Looking for a half yard of space in the box. Instead leaves it off for Rad. Jahon Rad over to the far side. Duke clips it in. Shots in the near post. Saved by Schulte. Jeremiah Collins can't win it. Jahon Rad. Over the top, looking for the run of Duke. Schulte out beyond his penalty area to clear, and it will be a throw-in for Sporting. Gilliard's coming up to take it. Into the middle for Jahon Rad, sprays it over to the far side for Leith. And that's a good tackle from Sabatic. Maris, dispossessed by Collins. Gets it back for Redmond. There'll be a throw-in for Lawson Redmond on the far side. Has Marin support, but instead is going to go down the line looking for the head of Danny Collins. Last stitch, applying the pressure. This ball popped over. Rabuladny. Loose ball won by Keller. Into the middle for Collins. Jeremiah Collins. Rolls it out wide for Vlastich. Vlastich shaping up to cross. It's a good ball to the back post. And Kalinic unable to chase it down on the far side. So it'll be a throw-in for Sporting Kansas City, but St. Louis have worked the ball deep into their end. Miller Miller will spin back and leave it off for his keeper. This is Miller bringing it forward. Gettenbacher taking off down the near side. And he's met by Gilliard, who clears it to safety. Throwing for Danny Collins. And Collins whistled for the foul, so it'll be a free kick for Sporting in the 8th minute. Gilliard. Inside for Winters. He'll leave it off for Rad. Rad has played 6 games for Swope Park Rangers in the USL Championship. Karani. Gilliard arrives on the scene, and it's over for Duke. Duke steps inside of Gettenbacher, and coming over to make the challenge is Miller. Left off for Gettenbacher, sends it down the line looking for Collins. And this off of Jahonrad. Like his brother, has also played for Swope Park Rangers. He's made 3 appearances for the USL Championship side. And Gettenbacher will take this throw-in. Last ditch. The pressure of Cameron Duke putting him off. If Sporting Kansas City do advance to the semifinals, then Cameron Duke will be playing in the home stadium of his brother Christian Duke, who plays for Orange County. Last ditch, shielding off Gilliard. And this will roll out for a St. Louis throw-in in the 10th minute. This one back for Max Trejo. Trejo up from the 16-17s, getting his 13th start with these 18-19s. As Rad gets it out wide. Gets it right back from Leaf. Over to the near side for Dontel Gilliard out of Lee's Summit, North Missouri. He will leave it back for Mohamed Abulan Nadi. Leith motoring forward. It's met by Redmond in the corner. The double team comes from Sabatic. And it will be St. Louis's ball. Rad with the long diagonal ball looking for Duke. In a battle with Gettenbacher. Gilliard comes up in support. Duke finds him. Into the middle for Rad. Duke plays in the cross. And Kikia got his head on it. But the second header came from Miller to get it back into the arms of Schulte. Good hold of play from Vlastich as he gets it back from Miller. It's being watched by Kikia. And Schulte elects to go to the other side. That's a towering header from Leith, bought down by Sabatic. And Sabatic has found some daylight on that far side. Puts it forward, looking for the run of Kalinic. And it's ushered out of bounds by Keva Rad. St. Louis have 2 to find in the box. And it was poked away before Redmond could get on the end of it. And now it's Mares going the other way. Leaves it off for Karani. He's dispossessed. Vlastich steps inside the challenge. Tried to play it through for the run of Jeremiah Collins. Gilliard. Jahon Rad gets it back to Kave Rad. Slides it forward for Mariz. Duke. Jahon Rad gets it out wide. Into the middle. Duke lost the handle. Cleared only as far as Leith. And Kave Rad sends it to the near side for Gilliard. When picking up in Oceanside, as is the pace down the wing. Is coming over and shielding it out of bounds as Miller. Question is this going to be a free kick or a throw-in? The ref says it was a foul, so they'll play it on the ground. And so Patrick Schulte is going to come out and take this one. As we said, Schulte was the hero in the penalty shootout win in the second round of the U.S. Open Cup against the Des Moines Menace. It's a huge moment for Schulte in the USL Championship. Always so important when young players can get minutes with the first team. Duke rolls it out wide for Leith, who's venturing forward. Looking to take on Redmond, who gets a foot in. Leith quickest to the loose ball, and he'll shield it out for the throw-in. Rees wants it, and he gets it at his feet. He gets it back for Karani. Helped on by Vlastich for Collins. But Gilliard gets a foot in. Gettenbacher. Into the middle for Kip Keller. Escapes the pressure, and it's back from Mayer. That's over to the far side. Good skill from Kristen Malinich, and he continues his run. It's poked away by Kave Rad. And this will be a free kick in midfield for Sporting Kansas City. Well, Kave Rad was screaming at the referee because he wanted her to call a foul. She came up to him and said, I know, I saw it, but you guys won the ball in midfield and had a chance going forward. So it's a free kick for Jehonrad. Plays it back to Kave. Drills this into the feet of Kikia. Winters and Karani making their way into the box. And shouts for a handball, and they're going to get it. Referee points to the spot. Sporting Kansas City with a chance to take the lead in the 18th minute, and Redmond is beside himself. Take a look here as the ball was lifted up and hit off his elbow, which was out a bit. You could say that as the cross came in, his arm was in an unnatural position. And so it's Jehonrad looking for his 5th goal this season and to give Sporting Kansas City the lead. As we've alluded to, Schulte knows something about saving penalties. He's going to have to do it here to keep his side from going down a goal. Rad steps up and scores. In off the post, and Sporting Kansas City have the lead. Oh, we've seen a lot of penalties here today on U.S. Soccer. Kissed off the post. And Sporting Kansas City have their noses in front on 19 minutes. First time Miller gets it back from Mayer. Joey Mayer in his 2nd season in the DA. Will get it off for his keeper. Over from Miller. Genenbacher. Karani giving chase. Miller able to fend off his challenge. And still he goes Miller. Off for Mayer. Clips it over to the near side. The header down looking for Keller. Well, they want a foul. And the whistle goes, but instead it's going to go the way of Sporting KC. The St. Louis bench is irate. They thought that Vlastich was clattered into, as was Keller. Maurice. He's brought down. No foul, says the referee. Vlastich in full stride. Genenbacher trying to join him. Vlastich's ball had too much mustard on it and it rolls out for a throw-in. Gilliard throws it back. Abuladny. Little bit of trickery from Karani. Steps inside the double team. Near side Gilliard. And again, the St. Louis bench is up in arms, but play goes on. Keller. As Miller gets it back to his keeper. Into the pocket for Keller. Out wide for Miller. Miller stepping inside of Kikia, and this time a free kick will be given. Well, the penny goal from Jahon Rad in the 17th minute. It's his second of these playoffs, as he also scored one to cement the 2-2 draw with Sacramento Republic in the 77th minute back on match day 1. Riz. Duke. He's smashed into, and this will be a free kick for Sporting Kansas City in the 24th minute. So there's been some really heavy challenges flying in. And it's just a warning for Mayer. And the referee saying that's your last one. Duke asking why more retribution wasn't given, but it will be a free kick for Sporting Kansas City. Free kick driven in, bounces across. Well, that's some excellent skill from Ablanati. Was unable to get a shot on target though. So it'll be a goal kick for Schulte. Collins flicks it on, looking for Kalinic. One back by Sporting. Jeremiah Collins flies in, but instead it's going to be a foul on Kalinic. And so Ablanati will have this free kick. Ablanati has made 4 appearances in the USL Championship with Swope Park Rangers. This one too much for Karani to chase. So it rolls out for a throw-in. Karani had 2 goals in the 4-0 win against Crew SC on match day 2. As Winters was unable to shield that out of bounds. And it will be a throw-in for St. Louis FC in the 26th minute. Jeremiah Collins. Keller punches it out to the far side. Redmond. Mayer over the top, and the offside flag goes up against Vlastich. And good work by the assistant referee, Christian Clare, on this near side. Gilliard spins away from Keller. Gets it inside for Winters. Winters looking to carve open the back line. He's got it to Duke, trying to go through, and he's muscled off the ball by Miller. Oh, what a ball that was from Winters. And Duke did so well to bring it under control and try to bulldoze his way through the center backs, but they closed him down. As there's going to be another free kick for Sporting. As Abdelnadi came in to win that ball, and I think the boot of Jeremiah Collins caught him in the knee. It looks like he's going to try and walk this one off. Mohamed Abdelnadi out of Leawood, Kansas. Looks to be all right as the ball is played into his feet. Sent over to the far side. This is Leith. And Sean Karani is going to leave this throw-in off for Dontel Gilliard. Gilliard comes just to the edge of the box and gets the ball. Little touch back for Gilliard. Abdelnadi. Gilliard. Kakia came into the channel. Instead, it comes back for Winters, who finds Abdelnadi. He looks to center the far side. Looks like the wind caught that one as it started to go toward the top corner of the box and then flew all the way back in and tailed towards Schulte. As Redmond wins it. Collins skips past the challenge. Has Danny Collins to the outside. Now he checks in. Jeremiah Collins will come into the middle. Needs to get it off his foot. And he leaves it off for Sabatic. Forward for Danny Collins. Rolled out wide. Vlastich makes his way to the end line, cuts it back. And it's cut out by Kaveh Rad. And this will be a goal kick for Sporting Kansas City. So we're just past the half-hour mark in Oceanside. 1-0 Sporting Kansas City leads on a 17th minute penalty from Jahon Rad, his second penalty kick goal of this playoffs. A spot in the semifinals in Irvine on July 8th is on the line this afternoon. It's Sporting Kansas City who have their noses in front at the moment as the long ball over the head of Winters. Kalinic. And the offside flag is up as Danny Collins came back from an offside position. This time Jahon Rad will be whistled for the foul after losing the ball. And now he pushes Sabatic.
Hey, Kaveh, I just said it. Hey, Jahon, stop with it. I don't care.
Well, if the referee is going to have a word with Sabatic, then she surely has to have a word with Jahon Rad as well for the two-handed shove in the back of Sabatic. Sporting trying to step up and draw him offside. The header in, and the offside flag is up, so it won't count. Sporting wanted to take it quickly. Miller so frustrated that he didn't draw them level. So the offside flag went up for the header that was before he latched onto it to put it into the empty net. Ruben Monthali's side will look to work it out of the back in the 33rd minute. Almost worked their way into trouble with that one, but they'll get a goal kick. See all the Sporting players running up right as it's taken, and just offside. It was a good header, though. A towering header by Miller to win it back for St. Louis FC. Winters brings it down on the chest. Able to spin away from Keller. Winters looking for options. He's got Leith outside if he wants him. Instead trying to weave his way through a very crowded center of the park. He gets it off to Gilliard and will leave it back. Abelnadi strides forward and slides it through for Winters. He played it behind Rad. Danny Collins gets it back for Kalinic. He's trying to shake the attention of Jahon Rad, and he'll get it off to Kip Keller. And Collins clattered into as he cleared it out of bounds. The St. Louis fans on the far side really angry that Danny Collins didn't get a free kick. 34th minute, 1-0. SKC leads on a 17th minute penalty from Jahon Rad. Last ditch crowded out, frustrated that he didn't have more support. And Genenbacher won't allow Duke to slip by him. Duke is down grabbing his knee. Genenbacher continues forward, and it's stabbed out of bounds by Gilliard. And now the referee will come over and check on Cameron Duke. It looks like he's going to be okay. So we're into the final 10 minutes of the first half. Played back by Genenbacher. Miller sends it forward. Cleared the other way by Abelnadi. Got caught up in the wind and came back for Jahon Rad. He's dispossessed by Vlastich. Kirani. It's 3-on-4. And getting back to win it is Jeremiah Collins. There's that running I was talking about. As now he plays it forward for Genenbacher. And the referee's going to stop play to check on the defender who's down. The St. Louis bench is irate because they thought Genenbacher had a chance to go forward. The referee stopping the play. I'm not sure whether she thought it was a head injury or not, but wanted to get the trainer on. And now the entire Sporting KC team coming over to have words with their head coach, Ruben Monthali. Monthali was born in Zambia and raised in Toronto. Played professionally for the Richmond Kickers and Carolina Dynamo. So you take a look at the challenge. And Abelnadi did get the ball, but then Vlastich fell right on top of him. Monthali, after playing for the Carolina Dynamo and Toronto Lynx, then went and played 5 years professionally in China before coming back and starting his coaching career. And it looks like Abunaldi is going to be all right. So Mundali continuing to give instruction to his U-18-19 side. So both teams with a chance to catch their breath and get some water due to that injury to Muhammad Abunaldi out of Leawood, Kansas. But the 18-year-old is going to wait for permission from the referee to come back onto the field. So for a brief moment, Sporting KC will be down to 10 men. As a look at some of the St. Louis substitutes. And sportingly given back by SKC. Now the two benches are jawing at each other. St. Louis wasn't happy that when Sporting Kansas City gave him the ball back, they played it 40 yards downfield. As Vlastich steps in. Karani, fouled by Danny Collins, and it will be a free kick for SKC. Back for Schulte. Vlastich gets to the byline. Has Gettenbacher in support. Still trying to get by Rad. Now cut back. Leaves it off, sent across. And the save made by Trejo. First header by Keller. Now the ball allowed to bounce before it's poked on by Gettenbacher. Duke working down the side. And Collins mows him down. Well, this game had a yellow card coming, and it eventually goes to Danny Collins. So there's been some really meaty challenges flying in. And Collins becomes the first player to go into the referee's book on 41 minutes. Jeremiah Collins. No foul, says the referee. And played into the box for Vlastich. Vlastich touch, takes him out wide. He's working on Abunaldi. Oh, it's nifty footwork from him to get the cross in and poke forward, but Trejo will pluck it out of the air. Oh, Vlastich has shown some tremendous skill today with the ball at his feet. Just look at this. And then crossed it in, Kalinic getting a foot in, but Gilliard doing just enough to put him off. The high press paying off for St. Louis. So it will be a throw for Sporting Kansas City, but in their defensive end. Duke shielding off Kalinic. He goes down, and it will be a free kick for Cameron Duke in Sporting Kansas City. Final 2.5 minutes of the opening 45. And it's Abdelnadi who's over the free kick. Duke gets around Keller and is charged down again by Sabatic, and he goes into the referee's book. Well, Jamie Willis already has her hands full with this one, and she has to administer the second yellow card, as Duke has been the target of some heavy challenges. That is really dangerous from Sabatic. So another free kick for Abdelnadi. Drives this one low. Touched off for Duke. Trying to ready around Gedenbacher, who shields it out of bounds for a goal kick. Duke wins the first ball, but Sabatic the second. And this will be a free kick for Kip Keller and St. Louis FC as we're inside the final minute of the opening half. Redmond gets it back from Mayer. Over the top for Redmond. Nice touch to bring it under control. Gets away from Karani, who got a foot in but brought him down. A free kick for Lawson Redmond and St. Louis FC. Miller steps inside of Kikia. Room for Kalinic to run. He tried to thread it through, but it's away by Abdelnadi, as we are into first half stoppage time. And fourth official Andrew Sharon preparing the board. So 3 minutes of stoppage time, of which 20 seconds has already elapsed. And Collins back into the center, and the shot is blocked by Gilliard, who smashes it clear. So throw in for Redmond. Played it inside for Vlastich. Went for Collins, who goes down and wins the free kick just outside the box. So a good opportunity for St. Louis FC to try and draw level in first half stoppage time. It's Vlastich who's over it, and the Cavalry is coming up from the back. Mayer is hiding behind the fray at the back post. Miller's right in the thick of things. So it's Vlastich and Kalinic who are over the ball. It's Vlastich who sends it in. And this will go out of bounds for a St. Louis corner. Driven in. Collision in the box. And a good job by Redmond winning that throw-in on the far side. Not only because he won the ball back for St. Louis FC, but if he had been beaten there, the counterattack would have been on for Sporting. And now just about 30 seconds, but the pass is picked up by Karani. Duke is flying down this near side. Karani angles his run into the center of the park, shows a bit too much of it, and the sliding challenge comes in from Keller. Gets it forward for Sabatic. Out wide for Danny Collins. The dying embers of this first half. Danny Collins picks his head up, slides it to the top of the box for Vlastich. He leaves it off for Jeremiah Collins. Gedenbacher floats it to the back post. Keeper stays on his line. Danny Collins got his head to it, but not enough pace to beat Trejo at his near post. And that will be the last action of the first half as Sporting Kansas City will take a 1-0 lead into the break. The goal came on the 19th minute from a penalty off the boot of Jahon Rad, or Kave Rad rather. And it was Jahon Rad who buried that penalty to give Sporting Kansas City the lead. At halftime, it's SKC 1, St. Louis FC 0. We'll be back with you for the final 45 minutes here on US Soccer. Second half is underway. 1-0 Sporting Kansas City lead. It's Kalinic. Spins his defender on the far side. Still going Kalinic. Puts it in the middle. Collins misses it. And Rad clears. No changes to tell you about at halftime. As Kava Rad comes over to make the clearance. It'll be a throw in for Vlastich. Collins. His run was stopped by the referee's whistle for a handball, so it'll be a free kick for Sporting Kansas City. Lone goal came from the penalty spot in the 19th minute from Jahon Rad. His second penalty goal of the playoffs. Intercepted by Kihia. One back by Sabatic. Keller goes up for it. Karani over the top, looking for the run. Kihia. Vlastich unable to keep it in. So it'll be a throw in for Sporting Kansas City in the 47th minute. Quickly taken into the feet of Jahon Rad. They'll get back for Abu Nadi. Leith wants the ball on the near side. Instead, Rad gets it inside for Karani. Now Leith gets it. Back for Rad. Leith looking to run at Redmond. Gets a step on him, puts in the cross. Overhit that a bit, and tracking it down on the far side is Duke. Now back to the top of the box. Winters gets it back out for Duke. Duke looking to create a half yard of space so he can get a cross off. He's closed down by Gettenbacher on the far side. Well, Gilliard took a bit too much time measuring up that cross, and St. Louis come away with it. This is Kip Keller. Over the top, was looking for the run of Jeremiah Collins. Kip Keller wanted a handball, is not going to get it. As Rad gets it out wide for Gilliard. Over for Duke. Sends it to the near side for Karani. Well, he's invited to run, but he slows up and plays it right to Keller. So it's St. Louis to go the other way in the 49th minute. Jahon Rad. Leith. Leaves it off for Karani. Running at Redmond. Now pokes it in. Back for Karani. And it'll be a corner kick for SKC. Played short for Jahon Rad. Into the box. A good distribution from Patrick Schulte, getting it out to Danny Collins. Plays it forward for Vlastich. Coming across to meet him is Winters. Vlastich works his way into the box. I was bumped out of it, leaves it off for Sabatic at the top of the box. And his shot is charged down. Now it's Duke to go the other way. Vlastich, or Keller rather, gets a foot in, and out wide for Kalinic. He'll roll it along for Vlastich. He's met by Kave Rad. Forces him to run out of bounds, and so it'll be a goal kick for Sporting Kansas City. Karani wants to run. That's a good job by the center back, sliding over in support. But this is Jehonrad at the top of the box. Slides it off. Now Collins in a foot race. Holds it up against Gilliard. Leaves it into the center for Kettler. And now the free kick will be called. The Sporting Kansas City did a good job to get the ball to the top of the box on that last attack, but then as St. Louis FC gets numbers behind the ball in the box, Sporting Kansas City have to move the ball quicker if they're going to break them down. So Redmond's whistled for the hands on the back of the Sporting player's jersey. Maurice. Rad. Swing it to the far side. Duke loves running at players. Sends it to the back post. And Schulte got enough on it. And it's swept clear by Redmond. Schulte got down well to make that save. And now Karani shielding, was unable to get it back to Leaf, but it will be another throw-in for Sporting Kansas City. Karani. And Collins stepped on the ball before Winters could swing. That's a good win by Gilliard. Wanted to take off, overran the ball. Now he recovers and goes forward. In for Maurice. Jehonrad wants it. Gets it quickly closed down. And that's where it's got to be quicker from Sporting Kansas City, right in and around the box. When they begin to get crowded out, that's where you need players making those quick 5 to 6 yard diagonal runs, looking to open up the defense. Vlastich. It's a good move. Vlastich with space at the top of the box. And Leith came over to make the block, and it almost fell kindly for Vlastich. Redmond. Looking to run. Karani gets in the challenge, but Redmond able to poke it forward for Kalinic. Does well to sort his feet out and get it back to Redmond. This one comes from Mayer. Mayer being hounded by Duke, who gets a foot in. And it will be a throw-in for St. Louis. Well, the referee has blown the whistle and said that actually it's on the ground. So Redmond will quickly get it back to Mayer, who will slide it over for Miller. Miller's ball missing the intended target on the far side, so it'll be a throw in for Sporting Kansas City. 56 minute, 1-0. Sporting Kansas City leads with a place in the semifinal in Irvine on the line. So the cross launched in. Nothing to concern Trejo in the SKC goal. Miller steps forward. Lovely ball to pick out Kalinic. A bit too far as it was looking for Vlastich. Collins coming over. Abelnati. Duke gets it back. Leaf gets past the first challenge. Down the line for Karani to chase. And Miller will leave this one off for Schulte. Mayer in the 58th minute. Oh, he's inviting the pressure with the indecision. And Schulte has to clear. Killed instantly by Kalinic. Has been excellent since getting the start today. St. Louis FC getting set to make a change. It looks like it's going to be Miles Sofanavong who's going to get first entrance from the bench this afternoon. We'll have to wait till the next dead ball, Sofanavong, to make his way onto the field. Be interesting to see who he comes on for. Keller. Looped over to the near side. Collins plays it through. And he had to get that challenge absolutely right, Abelnati, and he did. And it will be a throw-in for Sporting Kansas City. Look at that. When you leave your feet like that and slide in, you have to get the ball or else you're going to go into the referee's book. But Abelnati timed that challenge to perfection. And now it is Christian Malinic who's going to come out. And Miles Sofanavong will come in. Sofanavong in his first season in the DA, making his second appearance off the bench in these playoffs. And Malinic was wonderful with the ball at his feet. His movement off the ball was really good as well. Duke comes back to seize the loose ball. And Leaf made the run, but Duke couldn't get it over Redmond. Long ball over the top. Into the channel for Collins. Skips past the challenge. Tries to find Sofanavong at the top block. The subs. Helps it on. And Nishi Vlastos has equalized for St. Louis FC on the hour mark. What an entrance from Sofanavong, helping it on to Nishi Vlastos, who steers it to the far corner, and it's game on in Oceanside. Collins with the run in, the miscue at the back, heavily punished. One touch to settle, another to drag the shot across the face of the keeper and into the far corner. Oh, that should spice things up heading into the final half an hour. Sofanavong off the bench to great effect. The instant impact as he provided the layoff for Vlastos. And now Duke going to work on the offensive end. Sporting KC looking for the instant reply, but the move peters out as Duke miscontrols it. So it'll be a thrown for Leith. Danny Collins was the orchestrator of that goal. That was finished off by Vlastos. It was his run into the channel and move to elude that first defender, which opened things up. And this will be a free kick for St. Louis FC as we're in the 63rd minute. Kansas City playing a very high line, trying to draw STL offside as they did in the first half. And the keeper's missed it, and it goes in. From 0-1 down, St. Louis FC are 2-1 up with 2 goals in the space of 3 minutes. It was Vlastos' ball in, through the hands of Trejo, and bundled over the line. It was Mayer who got the final touch. That's why center backs go up on set pieces. Joey Mayer with his 4th goal of the season as he was able to force it in after it fell through the clutches of Max Trejo. And now Syrian Winters comes out as he'll be replaced by Guayan Chung. So Chung, born in South Korea but resides in Kansas City, Missouri, is on to see if he can help SKC draw level. They have a little over 25 minutes to do it, as in the blink of an eye they saw their lead evaporate. Leith. St. Louis closed down spaces so quickly. That's why the passing from Sporting has to be quicker. Gilliard nods the ball forward for Karani. Karani has the step, puts it across. And Karani remains down behind the play as it goes on. Duke to the end line. He pulls it back. And this will go out for a goal kick. And Karani is still down as the referee will come over to check on him. Schulte gets everyone in position, drives this one right onto the chest of Karani. Takes off, has 2 to find in the box, goes down, and the referee waves off and he shouts for a penalty. Take a look here. I don't think Miller got enough of him. And Karani certainly disagrees. He had just been taken down after sending the cross in moments ago. It's another dangerous run from him. It'll be a goal kick as we head into the 67th minute of play. The two Collinses conspiring to win it for St. Louis. Well, challenges have been flying in all day long. This time it'll be a throw-in for St. Louis. Oh, nope, it will be a free kick. Beg your pardon. What will the response be from Sporting Kansas City? They've been doing a good job in their build-up play, moving the ball up into the midfield. It's Redmond battling with Chung. Back for Mayer. Long searching ball for the substitute on the near side. Brings it down. Redmond backs off of him and Chung can get it in the center. Jahon Rad tried to send it to the far side, but this ball tails back into the box for Schulte to take. This time, Danny Collins wins the free kick. Center backs getting forward once again. It's Vlastos who is over it. Being urged by the bench to send it towards the back post. I did it, but too much pace on it as it sails out for a goal kick, quickly taken by Trejo. Intercepted by Sofavong. Collins is in, and getting across at the last second to make the challenge was Abelnadi. Well, he's been a handful in the second half, Danny Collins. That's the second corner kick of the game for St. Louis FC. Floated to the back post. Keller climbs, Collins shoots, and Trejo makes the save. And it'll be a free kick as once again Danny Collins proving to be a real nuisance. So this was a good hit from Collins. And then Collins would come right back and steal the ball away and win the free kick in the process.
Let's go, Ty.
Once again, Marin Miller up from the back. Can Eminem find another goal for St. Louis? Mayer begins his movement. Vlastos to the back post. And it's headed out by Jahon Rad. It'll be another corner kick, third of the game for St. Louis FC. Sofanavong is in short. Instead, it's driven to the top of the box for Jeremiah Collins. He couldn't get his foot around the ball. They tracking it down. On the far side is the center back, Miller. Miller trying to escape from the corner. Gets it off for Collins. Works his way in the box. Drags it across. Sofanavong hits. Still might be something on. Collins battling through. Goes down. And the referee gives a goal kick. So Tyler Freeman, the homegrown signing for Sporting Kansas City, comes on in place of Kikia. Freeman spent the group stages with the 16-17s. Now they're hoping that he can rescue the 18-19s. Vlastos. Karani is pressuring Schulte. Didn't seem at all bothered by it. Gets it into midfield. Collins looking for his namesake. Goes off Gilliard, so it will be a throw-in for St. Louis as we're into the 73rd minute. Collins with some fancy footwork, and he slides it through. Sofanavong leaves it off for Danny Collins, but played it behind him. Leith forced backed by Miles Sofanavong. It's been excellent since coming off the bench. One back by Sabatic. Coming away with it is Vlastos. Goes down. Still able to get it down the line, but the referee pulls it back for the free kick. So where will Vlastos play this one? Toward the back corner of the 6. It's headed away, and the shot fizzed in, but wide. Played short. Sent right to Sabatic. Gets it forward for Danny Collins. Collins steps into it, and it is blocked by Rad. The pace is picked up here in the second half. Sporting KC chasing the equalizer in the 75th minute. It was cleared out by Miller. Lifted over for Gilliard on the far side. Duke. Vlastos gets back. And Redmond clears. Sofanavong gets the return ball from Keller. Sofanavong taking off. It's 3-on-2 if they can hurry. Sofanavong driving at Abunati. Now he slides it across and stretching to get it is Gilliard. Sabatic seizes the clearance and gets it back for Redmond. Long searching ball will be brought down by Gilliard on the far side. Rad drives it into the channel. Schulte's well out of his box. Had to be decisive and was at the last moment. As Collins plays it off of the St. Louis, or excuse me, the KC defender, so it'll be a throw-in, but there's a player down at the top of Sporting KC's 18. So the trainer will come out to check on him. I believe it's Kave Rad who is down. And so a chance for both teams to catch a breather in the second half, in which the pace has really picked up. And now head coach Rumbani Munthali will have some words with his players, give them some instruction for the final 13 plus minutes. So both teams have come over to their respective benches. And so Sporting will be forced into a change as Rad is going to have to come off. So it's Brandon Betts who's going to come in. Betts out of Raymore, Missouri. He's making his 4th appearance in these playoffs and his 25th of the season. Duke working feverishly down the far side, but he runs out of real estate. So it's going to be a throw-in for St. Louis. Danny Collins shielding. Goes down. Sporting able to spin away with it. Now the ball driven back into the feet of Betts. Johan Rad plays it back for Leafs. Trejo gets it into the center. Leaf is being watched by Jeremiah Collins. And now Trejo being chased down by the Collinses. And so Fanavong, the benefit of the interception. Vlastos has some daylight on the near side. Cuts inside of Betts. And now is forced back with it. Redmond. Miller. Forces Karani to chase as he goes back with it to Schulte. Gets it back for Miller. Bring it to the near side for Mayer. Mayer, who as things stands, has the game-winning goal. Tried to play it over the top of the back line for Redmond, who was making a run. But it's headed out for a St. Louis throw-in as we're into the final 10 minutes. forward by Betts. And cleared away by Mayer. Betts caught that one, wanting to throw it right away. Doesn't like the movement ahead of him. Now he'll get it inside. Karani spins. He's able to get it into the box from the double team. It's safety first as it's lifted clear. So another thrown for Betts. This is when he came in for Rad. He came to the outside back position, and Leith moved into the center of defense. As this will be a corner kick. We'll wait for a second as Suleiman Lusa is going to come in to replace Fejo Sabatic. So Suleiman Musa, who's born in Congo but lives in St. Louis, comes on to try and close out this game, and his first order of business is going to be to defend this corner kick. So it's whipped into the near post. Ed Schulte is a boss in his area. Collins chasing, Gilliard's header right into the path of Jeremiah Collins. Holds it up, finds the feet of Safanavong. Miscontrolled it and will roll out for a Sporting throw-in. So we head into the final 7 minutes of regulation. Marie's battling for it. The bear hug on Keller. The referee sees it and gives the free kick to St. Louis. Driven over the head of Gilliard, but he gets there before Vlastos. Back for Trejo, who clears. Brought down by Maurice. And Maurice rolls it on for Abulnadi. The center back flying forward. Threads it through. Chong spins. Some space at the top of the box. Oh, off the post. What an equalizer that would have been. This was a lovely spin and a thunderous drive from Chong. Inches away from the equalizer. Schulte was beaten, but the post comes to his rescue. And St. Louis remain in front late into the game. Abunaldi gets it back to his keeper. Left off for Leith. Slide it inside for Jahon Rad. Gilliard. Inside for Freeman. Challenge run by Rad. Freeman is down and play continues. Rad clips it out wide. Freeman still trying to get up. Chong again walking along the top of the box. Able to turn. Shouts for a handball. The referee says play on. Freeman is back up. Over the top. Miller gets his head on it, and it allows Schulte to come out and take, as he has had full control of his box this afternoon. Now let's see, was this a handball? Chung, from the exact same position in which he wrung one off the post, was going to shoot again, and It's like he's frozen in time here. Oh, going the other way. A chance is on. Jeremiah Collins stings the gloves of Trejo. So I still can't tell you whether or not it was a handball. Collins had an opportunity at the other end. Got everything behind his shot, but it was directed right at the keeper. Inside the final 4 minutes, St. Louis have 1 foot inside the semifinals. But they have to hold on. Sporting Kansas City throwing everything at them, but it's intercepted. Inside for Jeremiah Collins. Musa is making his 4th straight substitution appearance in these playoffs. He'll hold it up and bring it back into midfield and leave it off for Jeremiah Collins. Jeremiah Collins again, spins away from Freeman. A lovely footwork from him, and he gets it out wide. Well, if you're St. Louis, why aren't you just trying to take that ball into the corner? Sprayed to the near side for Sofanavong. Sofanavong running at his defender. Sofanavong, reverse pass for Lawson Redmond, and almost an own goal. Snagging it on the line is Trejo. Miller's header backward, but Mayer is there. Duke, oh, that is a really bad challenge. Referee waves play on. And Musa clears. Well, Sofanavong played it in for Redmond, who pulled it back, and then Abuldani got a foot on it. And Trejo was able to smother. And now the referee is coming over. It is going to give the yellow card. And that's for Redmond. Oh, they're asking the 4th. Was that Redmond's 2nd yellow?
Hey, sir.
He's coming over to confer. And that is Redmond's 2nd yellow. Well, is it? The referee says no. Oh, the foul was on Mayer. Well, it was Mayer who got the yellow card. And that was his first, as the only players who had yellow cards previously were Danny Collins and Vejo Sabatic, who was off. So now all that's left is to see how much stoppage time there will be, but first, a change will be made by St. Louis FC. As it's Danny Collins who comes off. And will be replaced by Giuseppe De Serra. So there's going to be 2 minutes of stoppage time, 2 minutes for Sporting Kansas City to find an equalizer, as falling on the ball is Schulte. "40 seconds has already elapsed in stoppage time. Sofanavong chasing. Gilliard plays it backwards. Leith hooks it clear. Flying in with the header is Musa. One back by Jahon Rad. And stepping in is Vlastos. Collins could be in here. Collins! St. Louis FC are going to the semifinals. Jeremiah Collins, just as he did to ice the game against the New England Revolution, scores in stoppage time to ice the game against Sporting Kansas City. It was Vlastos who won it, and Collins was not going to be denied, drilling his shot to the far post. Second goal of the playoffs for Jeremiah Collins. His first year in the DA, and what a year it has been for number 55. And now Sovanovong sends it forward. Gedenbacher gets his foot on it. Keller helps it on. Collins. Oh, now he's going to take it into the corner. Very smart from Jeremiah Collins. As it was off him last, it'll be a throw-in for Sporting. We've played one more than the minimum 2 minutes of stoppage time. Vlastos. Well, that's twice that Vlastos has ridden a challenge, and it'll be a free kick for St. Louis. DeSera floats it in the corner for Sovanovong. The offside flag is up, but it doesn't matter as St. Louis are going to Irvine. They are into the semifinals of the U.S. Soccer Development Academy U-18-19 Championship. Three unanswered goals for St. Louis coming in the second half after Jahon Rad had put up Sporting KC 1-0 from the spot in the 19th minute. Vlastos scored in the 60th, then provided the free kick from which Mayer headed home and forced over the line in the 63rd, and then Jeremiah Collins sealing the deal in stoppage time. So St. Louis FC will be joining Sockers FC in the semifinals, and two more teams will join them as well, as it finishes Sporting KC 1, St. Louis FC 3. Stay with us as we will go down pitch side for some interviews. We're here with Nietzsche Velastos, scorer of the first goal and served in the free kick from which the second one was scored. Congratulations on the victory today. What allowed you guys to outlast Sporting Kansas City?
I think all year our mentality has just been to keep the game close, and we know we're going to score goals. We trust our defense once we're up, and we win games.
How important is it to have a keeper like Patrick Schulte behind you?
I think it's so nice to know that he's going to save probably 9 out of 10 really hard shots. So we know that he's going to keep it close, and then we just got to try and get 1 or 2 in.
Well, this seems to be a special team on a special run. What is it about you guys that has allowed you to have such a strong season and now into the Final Four?
I think just being the underdogs all year. We're not an MLS club, so teams kind of don't think of us the same way as a Sporting or Revolution. So we take that underdog mentality, and it really makes us stronger as a team. So we just rely on each other.
And what were your feelings as the final whistle blew and you knew that you had made your way to Irvine and into the last four?
Hard to describe. It's just joy. I mean, I think all the hard work, it's paying off. So just proud of the whole team and how we fought throughout the year.
Nietzsche Velastos, congratulations. Go celebrate.
Thanks.